This is the one skill which helped me study so much harder and focus better. This helped me graduate high school 1 year early, but also get these kind of results in my A-levels as well. This one skill is meditation. Meditation. Seriously, before you think it's like some spiritual thing, meditation is so helpful for me. It's helped me become less distracted. It's helped me study harder so that I don't have to spend hours studying. I remember being so distracted in class. I was just mind wandering, thinking about other stuff. I didn't even pay attention to the teachers. And because of that, I wasn't able to take in any of the content. I wasn't able to learn properly, and I had to revise it and go over it again and again because of the fact my mind was always wandering. The thing is, meditation is the solution to that. Meditation is the opposite of that. When you practice meditation, you basically fix that kind of mind-wandering, ADHD, content-addicted little brain of yours, right? It is the tool which is going to help repair yourself. Fix that broken attention span, which, is so used to that content addiction, right? Meditation is the cure for that. When you start to practice more meditation, when you start to do it, consistently, you'll start to realize that your focus is so much better. You'll start to realize, honestly, meditation can basically be summarized as the skill as a meta skill, which is a skill which helps every other skill as well. Because meditation will increase your focus, but also your presence as well. And basically what that means is that you are more focused on the things that are happening right now. So you're more focused on everything around you. So it helps me in every kind of aspect of my life. When I'm studying, it helps me focus on the content itself. But even in my social life, like being present with your family, right? Being present with your friends and not mind wandering and thinking about random shit when you're supposed to be speaking to your friends, even with girls as well, right? Even with training in the gym, when you're more mindful of the muscles that you're using, when you're more mindful of the movements and the technique and form, you improve in the gym as well. This ability to focus will improve every area of your life. And also on top of that, it'll make you calmer, improve your mental health. It's like a comically large list of benefits, right? It's actually, if you look at the scientific studies, it helps like everything, genuinely helps everything. It's kind of crazy. But what actually is meditation, right? Because I think we all have this kind of vague idea of people like doing this and humming mantras and that kind of thing, right? But what actually is like meditation? Well, meditation that I practice is mindfulness meditation, which is focused on things that are happening right now. What is happening right now? So we focus on something that's happening right now. So for example, your breath, where you sit down in somewhere and you sit on a timer and you close your eyes and you try and focus on your breath. And when you're meditating, right, you're going to generate all these thoughts, right? You're going to be mind wandering. You're going to think about all these random things. The goal is not to be distraction free. The goal is not to have no thoughts, right? The goal is that when you get distracted, when you think about something else and when you get distracted, the goal is that you want to notice that you're getting distracted and shift your attention back onto the present moment, back onto your breath. Whenever you notice yourself getting distracted, thinking about something else, you have to focus back onto your breath. And every time you do that, every time you get distracted and then you refocus back in, your brain gets stronger. It's like a bicep curl for your brain. Your brain becomes more able to handle that distraction. And you keep practicing that, right? Maybe you start off with like a couple minutes and then you can do like 10 minutes in the future, 15, 20, half an hour, right? Every time you practice that little bit of focus where you get distracted and you draw yourself back in, you're more able to refocus in the future. And the thing about meditation is that you'll notice that this mind wandering happens a lot. It's going to happen a lot. If you try it for the first time and you try and notice yourself getting distracted, you'll realize that you get distracted really easily, right? You're going to think about all this random stuff and it might be a bit frustrating. It might be a bit frustrating to think like, oh man, I've just been distracted for like so long, right? But I implore you to be like less judgmental about it and less judgmental about yourself. And just accept the fact that you were distracted, but all that matters is that you've refocused, right? As long as you do that refocus onto your breath, that is where the practice comes from. That is where you get that kind of growth, right? That's the bicep curl that you're going to do that will grow the muscle inside of your brain, right? Every time you do that, you basically become a bit stronger. You become less susceptible to distractions, and your internal voice becomes a bit stronger. I know, like, your awareness, your internal voice, it all becomes a bit better and it all becomes a bit stronger. Actually, if you look at some of the scientific studies, meditation is literally the cure for addiction. I remember hearing this study that, like, just doing mindfulness practice, right? Just doing the mindfulness practice and not even focusing on smoking, right? That's more effective than gold standard smoking treatments, right? Because we all live in the modern world and we're all addicted to our phones, this is basically like our solution to that. This is basically the opposite of that. We're practicing it. We're becoming more aware of ourselves, and we're becoming more focused, present people. It'll mean that you become less distracted overall, right? And do you see how this applies to you in class, right? When you're supposed to be learning, you're studying really hard for those, you've got this important class, like you've got A-level physics or something like that. You've got this important class that, you feel like you're struggling with. Whenever the teacher's talking and it gets a bit boring, you're going to be wandering off here, right? You're going to be wandering off thinking about other random shit, right? But if you've been meditating a lot, your brain is better able to refocus and get back on task, right? Better able to focus back on whatever the teacher is saying, right? Same thing for studying. Whenever you think, whenever you start mind wandering, you do a hard question. Because you've been meditating a lot, you're also better able to get back on task and refocus on what you're supposed to be doing. Meditation is genuinely so good, especially if you do it every day. It carries on into other areas of life. It genuinely is so good for you. Like, I love meditation so much. Like, I do it every single day, every single morning. And I feel like it's helped me become more focused, present, and also happy as well. Genuinely happy as well. Honestly, as you meditate more, you'll also start to realize that, that conscious voice inside of your brain becomes stronger, right? We all get caught in all of these like random thoughts and all these random desires, right? You have like an angel and the devil, right? Imagine that, the angel and the devil on your shoulder, right? One tells you to do good things, one tells you to do bad things, right? As you meditate more, you're actually going to start to realize that, that good side, the angel, it becomes stronger. It becomes louder. That voice inside of you that tells you to do the right thing, it becomes louder, right? And so whenever you're making like a choice, you're like, oh, should I study today? Or, should I eat the chocolate, right? That voice just literally becomes louder. It literally becomes louder. And so you're way more likely to actually make a good decision, right? It'll also help start to break some of those automatic cycles as well. Whenever you automatically think to reach for your phone, meditation and awareness, increased awareness will actually help you start to think like, do I need that phone, right? I remember picking up my phone and just like looking at it, right? Because of this awareness that I've gained from meditation, I just look at my phone and I'm like, wait, do I actually need this, right? Instead of randomly just scrolling and spazzing out for like 20 minutes, like, being on Instagram for half an hour, right? Meditation is genuinely one of the best things for breaking bad habits. This kind of awareness is so good for you, right? It's so, instead of being caught up in this like fever dream of content or drugs or, thinking about the stress, it'll help you decrease your stress overall, but also help you be more mindful when you're actually doing the addiction as well. Because one of the conclusions that I remember from the smoking study was that, the smokers, they were all mindful of themselves smoking, right? And then they realized, wow, smoking actually kind of sucks, right? It tastes like shit, right? It really does, right? You know the smell, it's not good, right? And so what you might realize is that when you're scrolling on this content or playing these video games, like, you're not actually having that much fun, right, in reality. But what you might notice is that, like, yeah, this content's not even that interesting. Playing this game's not even that fun. That will help you break some of those habit loops, break some of those cycles that, they hold you back, right? They do genuinely hold you back. The process, as you start to meditate more, you're going to make more of these good decisions, right? And really, life is all about your decision making, right? The progress of your life is mostly down to what decisions you're going to make. And so if you start to make more good decisions, you're going to be on a positive trajectory, right? And, obviously more good decisions compound as well. Good things come with good things as well. And so you'll just generally be happier, you'll achieve more. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of benefits from it, right? I genuinely think meditation is just so good. I recommend meditation to pretty much every person. I talk a lot about it in my course as well. Top link in the description below. It's going to help you even more than that. But meditation will also improve your mental health as well. That's probably where you've probably heard about meditation. It's going to help you find inner peace, and it's going to help you think. It's going to help you open your third eye, and it's going to help you float or something like that, right? Something crazy like that. But genuinely, meditation is so good for your mental health. It's going to genuinely make you feel happier, right? And you might think that your mental health is fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. I don't want to kill myself, right? But if you scroll for hours of the day, if you play video games for hours each day, quite clearly, I don't think that's the sign of someone with good mental health. Quite clearly, there's an issue, right? You're a bit of a crack addict, right? You're a bit of an addict. You're a bit of a crack addict, right? But on top of helping you deal with those addictions, on top of you improving your ability to handle yourself and being able to, resist some of those temptations, meditation will also just improve your overall happiness as well. After I've meditated, it feels good. I feel like a sense of calmness. I feel like a bit of a peace, right? It feels good because it's relaxing as well. It helps you release some of that stress. It helps you also just feel happy as well. Genuinely feels happy, because with meditation, right, you're practicing presence. You're practicing being present right here with the things that are happening to you right now. This is what people mean by living in the present moment. This is what they mean. They mean not living inside of your own ball of thoughts, or all of those random thoughts that are happening right now. Living in the present moment right now and appreciating the things around you. Being present in the moment is probably a top tier human experience, right? Especially if you're present with your friends, or with in nature or something like that. Being present overall, that kind of thing is a top tier human experience. And you're not experiencing it enough, and that's why you feel so sad all the time, right? You're stuck here thinking about random shit. You're stuck here thinking about sad things you did in the past, or how scary the future seems, right? If you actually start to focus on the present moment, yeah, life is pretty good. You're watching this on the internet. You can afford a cell phone. You have food on the table. Life is pretty good, right? Appreciating some of the present moment, and just being more aware of yourself and being here in this moment. It's so good for your mental health. It's such a good human experience. With improving your mental health, you feel more present. You're more here in the real world, and you just feel happier overall. As you feel more happy overall, are you going to always be compulsively scrolling? Are you always going to feel do you feel like you really need to play video games as much? Because if you imagine yourself with amazing mental health, where you are so fulfilled with your own life, does that life mean that you need to play video games every single day? Sure, you might play video games once in a while, but would you need to scroll on your phone for 4 hours? Probably not, right? So that's why I suggest focusing on meditation and focusing on improving your mental health first, and you'll automatically cut out some of the bad habits. You're going to automatically stop playing video games as much. You're not going to be as addicted. If you do some of these things like meditation, but also like gratitude and exercise as well, being outside, those things that are good for your mental health, things that I talk about in my course. But I've been selling you meditation for this entire video, right? How do I actually apply it? Because, that's probably the most hard part, right? Consistency is the hardest part, right? How can I apply it and start doing meditation? Well, the thing is, to create some consistency, what you actually need to do is you need to set a schedule for it, right? Every single day in the morning, I meditate, right? Every single day when I wake up, the first thing I do is meditate. Literally, after I brush my teeth, I just meditate for 15, 20 minutes, right? That's the first thing I do. And because of that fact, it's the first thing I do, I've done it consistently for months on end, right? Or for so long. Because of that fact, that's the way which has helped me keep the most consistent. That's what I would recommend to you to try and do that for the future. And genuinely, as you start to meditate more, you're going to start to realize that it's uncomfortable at the start. It's not so fun at the start, but Genuinely, I find it really relaxing. It feels really good for me, right? I want to meditate. I want to calm down. I want to de-stress. It's so good for me overall. It's a great start to my day as well. But I think one of the key things in terms of consistency is also just not to worry about, maybe you forgot a day, maybe you woke up late and maybe you didn't do it for like 2 days. Just never stop doing it. If you never stop doing it, if you never give up, if you keep going and always keep trying to implement meditation into your day, you keep going and you try and do it a little bit more, eventually you're going to get super consistent with it. Like when I started meditation, there would be times where I'd go like a week without meditation. But because of the fact that I never really stopped, I always tried to get back onto it whenever I felt like I was getting too addicted. I always went back to it. And because of that fact, because I never gave up, I created that consistency to keep going, eventually getting to like a very consistent daily routine, a daily habit, right? It might not be that easy, but genuinely it's going to be well worth it. So do you see the vision that I want you to have, right? Imagine yourself being fulfilled because you're not spending all day on video games, on the screens, right? Because you're able to do some of the work and you're just able to focus and study so much better. But you're also so happy as well. You're living in the present moment. You're spending time with your friends and family. This is such a good life, and I've been able to achieve a lot of this thanks to meditation, thanks to this one little habit that I feel like just isn't pushed out enough because it's not cool, right? And people don't make money off of it. But meditation genuinely has helped me so much, and that's why I recommend it in every video that I talk about. Any video related to studying or focusing, I recommend meditation. I recommend meditation in my course as well, top link in the description. But that's the life I want to give you. That's the life I want you to imagine, right? So try meditate, create a schedule every day, like at 7 o'clock or something like that, whenever you wake up. Every day, try meditate. And you'll see some of the benefits. You'll see the vision soon enough. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.